you've known each other since you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
And, I speak to couples every day, and I've never met a couple that's known each other for so long.
But I always still liked Martina. She was always still in my head, and then I ended it.
Okay.
He ended it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't have any work coming in.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't going very well for him. He didn't like the idea of me paying for everything. I can't be in a relationship with you right now because I need to get my life sorted.
So does that come from what you've learned from your parents and from your upbringing?
Yeah, I would say so. So my mum and dad weren't together, biological parents.
Right.
But I did have my stepdad from I was 6.
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of people think that because you now have a male model replacing, say, your biological father, that means that void is filled, when it wasn't, because I knew who my father was. Wanting to make things work from a relationship standpoint, I feel that came from my parents not being together and me understanding that from a young age. The principles of how a man should be then came from my stepfather, who was very much a man does this, a woman does this. Now being obviously older and being a lot more reflective on life, there's so much stuff that we talk about, and it's like I can see how I am just a mirror of different people.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the lessons that have come with all of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would definitely say that from my household, I guess that's why I was fine to just pay with it, because I guess my mum and dad were quite fluid in that sense. Whoever has the best skills at the time, just do this. It wasn't a very much. There was still roles. So like my mum was the person who cooked, or my dad was the person who took the cars to the garage. That's just what happened. And that was something that we bucked up with when we both had cars, and I was like, oh, my car needs MOTing, and he was like, okay.
Yeah. in my house, was dad said, your car is your car. Like, you're responsible for your car.
Yeah.
If something needs fixing or whatever, I can arrange for stuff to happen, but your vehicle is your responsibility. So you need to make sure if there's no oil in it or something like that. I'm going to be saying, well, why didn't you check the oil? I can facilitate, but you need to, if the tires are bald and you can fall over, that's your responsibility, not mine.
Yeah,
I was the case like that. My dad would check my mum's car and make sure that it was safe and roadworthy, and she would just get in, and that's it. We were princesses. So I guess for me, I was always like, I would, I still do kind of like, I want to go to the garage. I will now resort to driving it to the garage and give keys, but I've not organised anything.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just think no, that's a man thing, just because of the way that I've been raised. And I guess the roles have definitely played. But we did go to premarital counselling just before we got married, which I think was really good for us.
Okay.
We did 2 actually. We did like this grouped one and then this individual one. And it talked about roles and agendas, simple things like who did the washing, who did this, and then who did that in your household, and then what do you expect in this household. And so it kind of really helped us to look at that and be like, what? Be like, okay, what are we going to do here then?
Yes.
Balance, or I'd say, well, I don't mind cooking if you don't like cooking. Or
it wasn't always the case of ironing out, all right, who's doing this and who's doing that. But more a case of, all right, well, this is maybe what you expect because of what happened in your house.
Exactly.
Not necessarily that's what's going to continue into this house.
Right.
But I can still understand if we do have a bump heads with something, I can say, all right, well, this is what she would have expected. So that's why we're having an issue here.
Yeah. You know where it's coming from. You know some of the expectations, and then that allows you to compromise and to communicate about your needs and your expectations. Yeah, that's really good. So you went to marital counselling and spoke about a lot of things that a lot of people don't talk about before they get married, and then they find out once they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they think, where did this come from?
The thing that was good that I really liked about Leon from the get-go was that maybe because he had dumped me twice, was because on the third time he was like, do you know what, I want you to have all of me. So he actually initiated the counselling, both of them really. He was like, let's just do as much as we can, so make sure that we have a good foundation for what our relationship materializes into.
We talk a lot. I mean, we talk a lot. Anyway, like people always say, we'll end up getting into our own world just talking back and forth. So I found a lot of the times, even at the marital counselling, there was a lot of stuff that came up that we had already discussed.
Just ask scenarios. What would you do if this happened? What would you do if that happened? That helps you to get to know what type of person that person is, even if it comes down to the scenario and they completely do something different. That's maybe caught them off guard then, because they thought that they were going to act in this way.
Some situations are not ones that you can fully prepare for.
No.
So please tell me, what is the best memory, something that each of you remember about your journey together?
I'm going first because I'm going to take yours. I think it was when we went. It was when we were. One of them was when we went on our honeymoon. We went on our honeymoon
Say
to
another
Mexico.
one. You just said one.
Okay.
Went on our honeymoon to Mexico, and I guess up to that point we did love each other, but there was just like this weird spark that happened that we couldn't put it. It was like something happened above that was like really weird. We went on this boat ride that we were completely unprepared for, but we went on this boat ride.
Completely. We thought we was going to jump in the sea and stuff. We thought it was that
like
kind of
everybody
boat
was in
oh my gosh,
full gowns. We were in shorts and t-shirt. We just were not prepared. Anyway, so they let us on, and they had this moment where they would just like get in your couples and look into each other's eyes, and they did this whole thing of, can you think about a time where they've supported you? They just went into all these different spiels of stuff to really make you focus on that partner.
Yes, yeah.
And they had the sax playing, and then it was over the stars. It was very romantic, but there was something that happened in both of us where it was like, ooh, I think I love you. Like, I hope I would have, because I already committed vows to you, but there was a different type of experience that happened there that was kind of, and we both felt it. It wasn't like an individual thing.
Everything else you could say, like, I know that I really, really like you. It was that kind of, I really, 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 really like you.
And I want to spend every day with you. Yeah. And this makes sense to make this commitment. But there was just something else that switched
more of a
on
feeling.
That day. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have that now?
Yeah. I do.
Coming up on the next episode of Love Is Martina and Leon.
I would say that was the hardest situation.
That was a situation where we wasn't too sure whether, based on how I was operating and where you was going, I was thinking, is this going to last?
I think that was the only point where I would say this is like, there's going to have to be a decision made at some point in this, and it could go either way.
Please remember to like, subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes.